Nothing like starting a video off with a little bit of resource gathering, is there? No. So last week we ended off just before setting up my shop. And this week we're building my shop. So plenty of chopping, plenty of gathering. This is riveting content, isn't it? Hello and welcome back to the series. EXP here, and today we are going to go and build our shop. Yep, that's right, we've already discussed that we're going to sell sand and dirt, but I have a very specific build in mind, and it's one that I came up with all by myself. 100%. Absolutely no one else has ever built this before, and I'm not going to summon an entire fan base just because I can. I've also slowly started sorting storage out. There's no automatic storage here yet. These will all have item filters eventually. I need to work out what I'm doing with this. This is all the stuff I haven't yet sorted. I haven't quite got the plan. I don't really feel like it today. I want to build. So we're going to head off to spawn now, and we're going to start a time lapse. And then when I come back, maybe I shall build a few more trees, do a bit more terraforming, and we'll talk about the live series. Maybe. We'll talk about something anyway. Now this is a rough list of the things we're going to need for the build, but before the build we also need to terraform this whole area as well, so it's a little bit more on brand. I don't know if you can tell from the look of this what we're going to be building, but it's quite a famous build, so maybe you will know. Comment down below what you think it's going to be, if the thumbnail doesn't give it away.
I've grown a mouse so sharp and cruel, it's all that I can give to you, my dear. And when you come in quick to steal a kiss, my teeth will only cut your lips, my dear. I know that you mean so well, but I am not a vessel for your good intent. I will only bring you pretty things. I will only wring you dry of everything. And if you're fine with that, you can be mine like that. Abandon all your stupid dreams about the girl I could have been, my dear. 'Cause in the night I know you burn with feelings I cannot return, my dear. Oh, my dear. You gotta know that this won't last. Desperation will erase the fact I'm keeping all of the answers in my cigarette box. Yeah, the answers in the second floor, the other shoe drops. And if you're blind to that, I am fine with that.
So I feel like I've just awakened an entire bunch of sleeper agents with that. But let me give you a quick tour of the base. If you didn't know, that song is Tongue and Teeth by the Crane Wives. It's an absolutely fantastic song, and it's integral to the fan base as well, because of a fantastic animatrix? No, not animatrix. Animatic, yes. But first of all, we have the lava moat, which is just a slightly safer version of a moat made of lava. If we head up these little steps here, we have a nice llama called Pizza. Don't know what inspired me to call him Pizza. We have a nice little cactus ring. It's lovely. So any PvP battles could go on here. That's never happened before. And then the last thing before the build itself, we have Science and Discovery Ravine, which nothing ever bad happens when you're saying Science and Discovery. And the build itself, which this is a lot more done than it was because I'm recording this way after the fact. So we'll roll some clips. But yeah, this is the Never Left the Desert, which is the name of the shop, because me, like a bunch of other people that know that song and know this build, never left the desert. You still need to decorate the inside, but beyond that, the building itself is finished. But I have an idea for the bottom of this. We are going to put a smelter in underground. So not only are we selling stone and sand, but we can also sell, make your own glass, I guess it would be called. That's the general idea. I'm not sure how it's going to work yet. I'm going to work out the system to put in up here so they can send the glass down. I suppose stone as well if they wanted to make smooth stone. There's nothing stopping them. So there'll be a charge per stack of items. There'll be a charge for shulker boxes of items, because I have a feeling these are the kind of things that people are going to want shulker boxes worth rather than just stacks worth. But you know, we'll have the option just in case they want both. And yeah, then a price to use the furnace, which the price for the furnace will probably only be 1 diamond more, but I haven't quite worked out exactly how much to charge yet. So that's something we'll work on soon. First of all, we need a flooring in. And once we've got the flooring, we can work on the underground. We'll head back to the shop in a little bit, but first of all, this area needs a little bit of attention. Now, I did want to talk about the live series and what it kind of means to me as a very small content creator on this app. But not just what it means to me, kind of like the importance of it as well. Live series is the brainchild of Grian, who is a fantastic content creator and pretty much an OG of YouTube and Minecraft together. But what the live series epitomizes to me is having fun with friends. Although Hermitcraft does this very well as well, which Grian is a member of, live series, it's a little bit more refined when it comes to friendships, if you ask me. And it's trying to put this into words while also suffocating myself in trees is difficult. The first one being Third Life, which it's got a strange order just because the naming scheme, it works for what it is, but it's not really in order. Not that it particularly needs to be in order either. Third Life being the first, it was called Third Life because each member had 3 lives, a green life, a yellow life and a red life. There was various rules and roles that went along with these, but they hadn't quite worked out exactly what was to be expected. It was just a bunch of people who all have fun playing together and being friends in a group, coming together once a week to play for, I believe the sessions were 3 hours with a break. And whatever happened in that time is what happened. And a lot of it is the epitome of yes and. It's just rolling with whatever goes. Initially, they all started it like a regular server. You know, you start out and you think about what you want to do, whether you're going to have shops, whether you're going to be a prankster, whether you're just going to cause mayhem, whatever. It evolved into almost a war, which was just... Third Life had such brilliant character development and stories from every single member, and I highly implore you to watch all of them. My build specifically was Grian's, and he teamed up with Good Times with Scar for it, and just the content that came from it, you could tell they were all just having a lot of fun and just doing what friends do best when playing Minecraft together, I guess, and that's causing havoc, playing mischief. And just, you know, both Scar and Grian are absolutely fantastic builders in their own right, but life series isn't about how well you can build or how creative you can be. It is purely just friends and ad-lib and just there's no other way of describing it, just friends being friends, and I absolutely love that about it. It's funny, I'm explaining this to a bunch of people that probably already know what it is. Now, I will go a little bit into the story of Third Life, but I won't be too heavy on it because it's something I genuinely want more people to experience on their own. I think everyone should watch it at some point. So right off the bat, Grian ends up playing a prank on Scar that somewhat backfires, and basically gets him blown up by a creeper, and Grian, feeling awful for this, decides to dedicate his entire series to making sure that Scar then survives. So that is how they form their alliance. And on top of this, they also decide that they're going to create a monopoly on the server for sand, which is, you know, it's It's what they end up doing pretty much all the time. It's just trying to cause monopolies. And yeah, but I'm getting off track. Anyway, as well as this, there is also Dogwart, which is another faction, mostly of Ren and Martin in the Littlewood. And they absolutely fear Scar. And Scar's not quite sure why. I'm not explaining this particularly well, but yeah. So they end up at loggerheads with each other. And if you're watching Grian or Scar's POV, it's just all very light-hearted and comical and fun. But if you watch Martin or Rendog's POV, the two of them are very, very menacing. Scar seems like an absolute monster, and like you're kind of thinking, why can't anyone else see the fact that it's an absolute monster? The whole dynamic is just, it was very interesting to witness, and you know, it still feels weird that, like, I know a lot of people already know this, but the premise of it entirely and what I took away from it, more so than anything, is this is friends being friends, having fun with friends. And that's kind of the ethos I think everyone should take away when joining an SMP or a project of any kind with Minecraft. There's absolutely, you can enjoy this game on its own, of its own merit. I mean, I do plenty of times. But the real heart of it, for me, will always be playing with friends. And that is what I found here on this server. I had friends anyway, and I've played on and off with them for years now, and I cherish every single one of them. And here I've joined this server in hopes to make even more friends than I already had, and I'm looking forward to joining them all for more adventures, more shenanigans, and just more general fun whenever we get chance for it. And I think that is my main takeaway from all this, is to just make sure whatever you do in life, whether you're playing Minecraft or a sport or another video game or just literally any hobby, make sure you enjoy the people you do it with. Have fun with them. Have friends. Friends make everything better. And if you can't tell, I'm really struggling to actually talk and build, so I guess I'll just silently montage the rest of this build, and then we'll get back to fixing the smelter. Oh, I am deep in the weeds of redstone. Yeah, you may be wondering what all this is. It looks a little bit complicated, but it's really not that that difficult to grasp. Except this bit. This bit I think I'm giving up on. Basically, this is just the cycle for an auto furnace, which I'll talk you through in a bit. And this was going to be a system that locks it unless you pay a diamond. But I think I'm going to have to leave it at gentleman's rules, as in people just need to use it after paying, and if they don't pay, there's absolutely no consequences except for you being mean. Because in order to lock it, I needed to put an item filter so that once it recognises as a diamond, it unlocks this repeater, allowing it to change state, and then I needed that to cycle for, say, 10 minutes or however long, and then to lock itself again. But it's just way more hassle than it's worth, to be honest. Considering that everyone's friends on here, you know, there's no reason to not. Ow. If someone did just want to steal my furnace, then I'm not going to be very happy. It's only really costing me coal, really, or whatever fuel source I decide to use. So it's not really that big of a deal. But I would appreciate it if people actually paid. You know, that's the whole point of it. Anyway, as I was saying, if we come up here, we can do a dry run of the actual super smelter. So you'd put a diamond in here, and then activate, put all your stuff in here, and it will drop the minecarts at a specific timing, which then collect the items, push themselves over here. Let's see if we can follow on. It might be a bit too quick. Which heads down into this, drops right down into the actual furnaces, goes round and back up. And up and round. We'll wait for the next one so we can follow that. Up. And then that goes up into here and back onto there. Meaning they will be at just a decent... That one's got stuck. I need to adjust the timing again. We'll just drop it to 4 maybe. We'll see. Yeah, the timing needs adjusting again. Finally figured the timing out, and that is it now. Just about as is needed. So this is heading around the corner just as the next one drops. There we go, so there's no more bumping. And it's taking exactly the length of one of them to get round for 4 minecarts, so there's always one in the chamber. As we see, the first one's now heading back. There we go, as the last one drops. See? Perfectly timed. Like I said, just 1 emerald in here. Emerald? No, not emerald. Diamond. 1 diamond in there to use it. Yeah, I think that's fair. Obviously, only for stuff from the shop. So if you want smooth stone, or if you want glass, you can sort it here. Change this whole system for an etho hopper clock just because it was much quicker. So we've got 16 and 8, so we've got 32 items in here. 32 is just about the right amount of time. I can't count today. I'm also using 2 different items. So we can block this back up now, and we can head down to the shop itself. So I'm just writing the prices out, but shulkers of stone are 2 diamond blocks. Stone itself is 1 diamond per stack. Deep slate, 1 diamond per stack. Shulkers of sand are 5 diamonds, 5 diamond blocks per shulker. And then 2 diamonds per stack. And I think that's fair. I'm going to be putting tough, diorite, andesite, and calcite? No, not calcite. But it's basically any other mined blocks in this one, and they're just going to be 2 diamonds per stack. Now that that's done, let's get filling the actual furnaces, shall we? If you've never seen a furnace array or super smelter before, this is the very basics of it. So this one isn't fully automatic because we've got a separate line for the coal or fuel source distribution, which will run along these hoppers that go into furnaces from the back. You can do it from the front as well, but you can't do it from the top. Items that are going to be smelted will be lined up over the top, and then when they are smelted, they'll be pulled out through the hoppers. and put into this auto dropper, which mine then throws it into a water stream, up this little bubble elevator and into this chest here. So anything that is smelted will end up in there. Now, with this full, if we just let that run, it'll distribute all that coal equally. So we've already got 33 in there, that's about to be 34. There we go, 35, and if we go across here we can see it is the exact same amount all the way across. So, very equal. Very fancy. I could set it up so if there's anything in this chest that it sends a signal and powers this and then unpowers if this is empty, but I don't see the point. There's no point in that. And have we... yeah, so there's nothing smelting. Let's just double check all of these to make sure nothing has fallen into them, because that is something that can be a problem. 63. Why has that one got so much more than the rest? It must be to do with the speed of it. Either way, it's not too important that it's distributing a bit more to these. Ultimately, it's going to be full. Yeah, literally just down to speed, that is. So yeah, all these are empty, so there's nothing blocking them. There's still plenty in there, so we'll leave that running for a bit. And I think that's all we have time for this week. My main takeaway from this is watch the live series and cherish your friends. No matter what you do with them, always enjoy their company. If you've enjoyed this video, please leave a like, subscribe, you know, YouTuber stuff, and I'll see you in the next one. Ta-ra a bit. Ta-ra.